Hello, I'm Danielle,
And I'm Stephanie.
and together we clean homes for free.
You totally threw me
I
off the way
know.
you did that there. Okay, so I know you guys have been waiting for the final installment of the series that we've been doing, but we do have a little bit of news about that. So, first of all, I don't know whether I should tell you the story of the house we're currently in right now or tell you about why we're not in that other house. What do you think?
Currently in, and we can get back to the why we're not there.
Okay, so in today's video, we are cleaning the kitchen, hallway, bathroom, basically the whole downstairs of this house and the upstairs hallway and one of the bedrooms. So as you can see, there's just a lot of visual clutter on the floors, rubbish, clothing, random things, and it just visually looks like a lot. But we did manage to get everything done in about, was it 4 or 5 hours?
4 and a bit hours?
Yeah, just between 4 and 5 hours we managed to get everything done. And this clean was for a young woman who has 2 children, and she has recently experienced a loss. So a little bit of a trigger warning here, because I don't think we've actually come across this situation and shared it before, but she did actually have a miscarriage recently, and I think it was where you have to go into the hospital and have the operation.
Yeah.
So that was very traumatic for her. And then on top of that, she does have other health concerns as well. I think
mental health issues.
Yeah, you've got the message there if you want to read it out.
So she contacted us and said, obviously she's a single mum with 2 kids. She tries to co-parent amicably, but obviously it's not always great. She suffers with mental health issues, and has done for several years. She just said that her house is super unorganised, and she really tries to do stuff, but it's overwhelming and overstimulated, and she gets demotivated, which a lot of us can probably relate to.
Absolutely.
And she just really wants to have a better place for her kids, and her kids want, to have sleepovers and stuff like that. She does work, but most of her wages are spent on childcare because childcare costs are bloody extortionate.
Yep.
Yeah, and she's just kind of reaching out and wanting us to help with the situation. That's kind of the gist of that message.
Yep. Is there more there, or is that it? Sorry, Danielle's just reading from the messages.
I'm reading. I think that's kind of it on our situation. Yeah.
Okay, I think one of the things that stood out to me about what she went through with the miscarriage is that she said she was completely alone.
Yeah.
So I thought that, so obviously she doesn't really have
a great support network.
Yeah. That's what I like about what we do, is that we can get to be somebody's support network. Yeah. So that's what we're doing. But this house was done a few weeks ago, and for anybody, I think we mentioned at the time, but my eczema on my hands had flared up really badly a couple of weeks ago, to the point it was quite painful to move my hands, and I was really struggling with what we were going to do with this clean. So Danielle very gallantly said that she would do all of the actual cleaning so that I didn't have to wear the cleaning gloves or work with chemicals or get my hands wet as least amount as possible. So we kind of split it up into you focused on the kitchen to start with. You did everything in the kitchen, rubbish collection.
She said the kitchen was kind of our priority area, and it looked like, when I was cleaning, it looked like she liked to cook, and she's got all the herbs and spices, and there was a pot that had curry in it, and it looked like she made a really good curry. Yeah, it smells so good.
There was so many Indian takeaway boxes in this house as well, so she obviously likes spice.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you focused on the kitchen, and then the way that we divided everything else up was I went through and did all of the tidying and picking up and the organising, and then you went through at the back of me and did all of the cleaning. So you focused solely on the kitchen, and I focused solely on one of the bedrooms upstairs, and then we divided up the rest. Yeah. So that's kind of how we did it in this one. And then you will see me wearing gloves for some of it, but the gloves that I'm wearing, they're the sharps gloves that we use for picking up rubbish in like the really extreme cleans, but they're actually quite good because they're nice and airy. They're not so tight on my hands, so my hands don't sweat as much. So it definitely helped that I didn't have to wear those rubbery ones. So yeah, that's kind of how we divided up this house. So the way I've edited it is not necessarily the way it was recorded, because while Danielle was doing this kitchen, I was in the living room, and then when I went to the hallway and the bathroom, Danielle went to the living room. So I've kind of edited it so that each individual room is done, so it looks like you're in so many places at once. Oh, this is you showing what product you're using. So we had a question.
It was a new smell.
Yeah, so we actually had
amazing.
a question about what does it smell like, because they're thinking of getting it. Somebody commented.
I can't even remember now. All I remember is that it smelled amazing. And I was like, oh, this smells really good.
So like a flowery smell.
It must be. Yeah. But I can't remember. I'd have to spray it again to smell it.
I felt so bad. You kept cleaning stuff and I kept coming in with more dishes and things. I'm like, I'm sorry. Every time I come in, I'm like, I'm sorry, here's more.
It's fine. I was a bit, what's the word, erratic in the kitchen, to be honest. Like, usually I'll focus on, like, one area, and I just felt like I was kind of, like, here, there, and, like, half doing this, and then moving on to something else.
The thing is, you might have felt like that, but actually when I was editing it, you weren't really doing it that much. Okay. Like, as much as what you probably feel like.
I felt like I was kind of all over, to be honest.
Yeah. No, I think you did quite well at zoning it, even if it didn't feel like that in the moment. But, yeah, when I was editing, it was quite easy to edit, although even though we were only in this house for 4 to 5 hours, I felt like it was hard to cut down the footage because we managed to get so much done in that time, because it was quite straightforward. And you know, she commented after we'd left, I think she'd cried, and her kids were asking when we were like, when are her friends coming back to see them, because they were really happy with what we'd done. But she says we managed to get done in a few hours what would have took her months. Are you looking for that one?
Because that's what I was thinking about getting the...
Yeah, it was a really sweet message. Have you got it?
Yeah. Wow, even my son was tearing up when he seen his room. He said, I have space to play. That was that one.
So I felt a little bit bad because there was 2 children's room, but she said that they tend to...
You've managed to do in a few hours what I've been trying to get on top of for months. And I'll absolutely get through it now, just a little at a time. I'm honestly speechless.
And then she kept messaging, asking where we'd put certain things, and I'm like, they're in the bags in the living room. And pretty much everything she asked about, I was like, it's in the bags in the living room. So she said, right, those bags are getting sorted tonight. It's good because she is going to be able to manage now, because it doesn't look so overwhelming. But yeah, I felt a little bit bad because obviously there are 2 children and there are 2 children's bedrooms and both were needing done. But they were a big job, and I only managed to get one done. But the kids, she said that when they're at their dad's house, they share a room or they share a bed. So that now when they're at home, they kind of don't want to be separated into their own rooms. So they both stay in the boys' room anyway at the moment. So that's the room that I focused on. But I felt a little bad because we'd basically done all of downstairs and the boys' room. And I thought, the girls going to like be upset that we didn't do the girls' room. But I mean, we did have limited time. We got so much done.
Like, she's been given enough of a kind of help that she'll get through that.
I get that vibe. I feel like she will. So Danielle, what was your favourite part of this clean? I'm getting in there first.
I'm trying to think.
We can look back if you need some time to think.
Yeah, can we look back? Let me rewatch it.
Okay.
Maybe the floors. Is the floors good? I don't think they were that good. I can't remember. Well, I'll look back. What
about your least favourite, or again looking back?
Getting onto the bathroom, because by that point I just didn't have the energy. I was done. So the bathroom kind of took me a lot. It probably wasn't done to my full potential, but I just did what I could do.
Yeah. So what we did with the bath, well, actually I'll just explain that when we get onto the bathroom. So there was the curries that you've seen. Yeah. So yeah, I quite liked the way that this kitchen was set up, because I like that you have the stove in its own little nook with some side counter space, and then that cupboard next to it, because I would have all the pots and pans and spices and all the stuff that I'm going to need for the cooking like over on that side, and then have all the dishes and everything where the dishwasher and the sink and things are. I quite like the layout.
It was a good layout of the kitchen, and it made it easy if you like to organise it. the way
Yeah.
you've just said. Yeah, it would
I
make
think
it
she
easy
needs
for
some
that.
new vinyl flooring in the kitchen because that was a bit damaged. And I think same with the one in the bathroom, that looked damaged as well. But under the mess, everything was really nice. We always find that, don't we, in the houses? They're always like really nice underneath all the mess. Which works out quite well because often if we're cleaning a house that's not really nice underneath it, it's harder to see that difference because like there's still marks and scuffs and all this because it's not like it's not new or whatever underneath. I think that's one of the things that I like about like Mac's channel and Barbie's channel is that it's real houses underneath, and they're usually like old houses and it's not perfect, but I mean you definitely see the difference, but it's not like they're not brand new underneath. So I do actually quite like it when I'm watching it, but when you're in it and you're doing it, it is nice to have the new house underneath because you get to see it in the moment.
These tiles annoyed me. I really wanted to take a toothbrush with some bleach to the grout, but
that damages grout.
Does it?
Yeah, oh no, I'm thinking toilet bowl cleaner. That's not the same as bleach though. You get bleach in toilet bowl cleaner. But the number of times I see people on like TikTok and they're using toilet bowl cleaner on the grout on the tiles and it totally like destroys them.
Right, I've always used bleach on my white grout.
I mean, bleach might be fine. I don't know. Somebody who actually knows about chemicals,
let us know. Comment.
Yeah, I would hate for us to damage somebody's grout because we've used the wrong product. Yeah. We still need to do like those training courses that we said we were going to do.
Yeah.
We're like cleaning people's houses. We should probably know what we're doing, eh?
Almost a year in,
but we never claim to be professionals. That's the thing.
I don't know about you, I am.
Yes, Miss Bleach on grout.
Yeah. Look, it gets it back to white. That's all I'm saying.
So you literally cleaned this kitchen top to bottom. You wiped down all the surfaces and stuff, and it doesn't look that dirty though. Was it dirtier
to be honest,
person?
It wasn't that dirty. Like I'm saying, like the grout stains and stuff like that, but it wasn't that bad.
Yeah. Was there an extractor fan above this cooker?
No.
That would probably help with the stains on the grout. So it's so funny watching you in this house because sometimes you're just wearing a vest top and then other times you're literally wearing a woolly hat. It's like, make up your mind.
My core temperature is very indecisive. Like 1 minute I'm roasting, the next minute I'm freezing.
Perimenopause in your 20s.
I'm about to be 30, so you never know.
No, shush. We've got at least till we're 40. That's so good. I seen a meme today and it said millennials are 30 to 40-year-olds with the energy of 20, or who look like 20 to 30-year-olds with the energy and pains of 80 to 90-year-olds.
I feel that.
Yeah,
I do.
I felt that in my soul. Okay, so we'll just tell you a little bit about why we're in this house. Well, not while we were in this house, why we're releasing this video today. So as you know, we've been working on the other house for the gentleman whose landlord also reached out for help for him. And he has incontinent dogs and his house has been really just like in disrepair. So far we've done the kitchen, the bathroom, the bedroom, and some of the living room and some of the hallway. Now, we were supposed to go back for our, I think, was it third or fourth visit?
So,
I want to say third visit.
So we cleared and done the kitchen, then we done the bathroom. Yeah, so third visit.
So we were supposed to go back for our third and final visit last week on the Sunday. And what did Danielle do?
I fell down my stairs.
Yes. And we suspected she had broken ribs. But like, this is how much of a saint and stupid she is. She still got in my car, and on the way to this man's house, we stopped to pick up a new duvet for him. Well, we didn't realise he'd actually already bought himself one, but we stopped to pick up one. And when I picked her up, she'd said, I fell down the stairs, but I'm okay, basically. And then when we went into B&M's to get this duvet, I could see how much pain she was in. She could barely breathe, guys. and she was still wanting to go and do this house. I was like, you cannot even walk and breathe. How are you planning on... I just said she was not fit for work. So I messaged the guy and says, look, I think Danielle needs a doctor. I think she's like broke a rib or something. We're going to need to postpone and schedule you in when we can. Luckily, a few days later, she was totally fine. So we're thinking she just bruised her ribs. But yeah, so we never managed to do a clean last week.
To be honest, it's still been sort of like this morning. I think because I've like lay on it too much.
Well,
or slept funny.
Yeah.
It's been very sore this morning.
Well, when I didn't hear from you yesterday, I was like, have you fallen down the stairs again? Do you not have a phone? Are you dead? So anyway, so we didn't make it back to that man's house. And then we had booked him back in for this weekend. So today, the day that we're doing this voiceover, and he actually messaged. And do you have the message there?
Yeah, I've got the message, yeah.
Okay, so Danielle's going to read out the message.
So he says, to be honest, I actually think I can manage things in the flat now. I'm grateful for everything that you've done. You've helped me to absolutely no end, but I now actually feel like I can get on top of things. I've already worked hard this week to clean the living room floors and cleared the stairwell and the hall already, and already got rid of about a third of the dishes. I honestly can't tell you how much hard work has meant to me. I'd never be in the position and headspace I am now without you guys, so thank you so much.
So yeah, so that's absolutely amazing. He doesn't actually need us to go back. Although, I mean, I'm a little disappointed, and I bet you guys are also a little disappointed that you don't get to see that, the final result. But I think this is actually the best case scenario. This is what we want, that we do enough that they can then help themselves.
Yeah.
And I feel like when people get to that point where they can then help themselves, the houses are less likely to get back into that state again. So as disappointing as it is that we're not going to have that final video, we're really happy for him that he's managed to do it for himself.
I just really wanted to see those floors come up nice and clean.
Do you know, I'm not going to lie, I might message him and say, could you send us a couple of photos or a little clip if you feel like you want to do that?
If you want to share that with us.
And then we'll maybe put it in a community post or do like a quick 5-minute video where we just do... that noise, oh my god. She's like grating through sand that's in her car. Yeah, and I might just make like a little clip of the before and afters or something like that. But yeah, so unfortunately there's not a final installment of that series. But yeah, if you've not watched it, it is still worth watching because we still have like a transformation of each room that we did get. I still have a little bit of the footage from the living room because on each visit we did a little bit of the living room floors and like the dining area part of the living room. But I don't think there's enough to make like an actual video, or if I did make a video there wouldn't be a result at the end of it.
Yeah.
If you guys still want to see that, I'm happy just to release it maybe without a voiceover, I don't know. But then we can't use the natural sounds on it because we mostly had music on. Would you like a silent video that has no satisfactory ending?
Not put like some kind of...
People don't like music though.
Chilly? Okay.
Do you want to sing? Karaoke snippets.
I think you still get copyright even if you sing the song, do you not?
Oh yeah, maybe. Not if you make it your own. Like do it with a country twang. Have you seen that guy? What's he called? Cooper Allen. And he has such like a deep country voice, and he does like song mashups. But it's totally like
like 30 seconds of like each song?
No, not even 30 seconds.
Okay.
Somebody will just go up to him and say, like do an 80s mashup, and he'll just like, and they'll put a song on, and he can do like a 3-minute mashup of songs like totally like off the top of his head. He's well got ADHD.
Yeah,
he's
definitely.
So good. Go and check him out, guys. He's called Cooper Allen. I'm only thinking of it because I was telling my friend Chelsea about it last night. So yes, this has been a busy week. So we went camping on Wednesday. It was meant to be for 2 nights, but we ended up leaving a little bit early. And then Friday night, I had friends round and we watched Bring It On. Do you know the cheerleading movie?
Oh, is that what you watched?
Yeah, that's what we watched. Madison had never seen it, and she's in this phase of her life where she's wanting to watch all the early 2000s movies that I grew up watching. And I was like, okay, well, you'll love this one. So we're going to watch Bring It On 2 next. Well, Bring It On Again, because that's one of my favourite ones.
Bring It On Again's one of my favourite ones.
Yeah. And
when
then
are you watching that?
I don't know when we're watching it. I'll let you know though. And then what's the other one? I never know which. I think
Friday.
you want me to watch it on Friday.
Yeah.
When you have no children. I don't know what the other Bring It On's called that I like, but it's the one where they're like crumping. Do you know where they're like fighting, dancing? I think that's what it's called, crumping. It took me ages to think of the name. I don't even know if it's correct. Is it maybe All or Nothing or Fight to Finish or I don't know. It's the one where the white girl goes to the school and she's the only white girl. Do you not know which one? You've not seen it? Oh my God, you've not seen it. Okay.
I'm thinking of like Save the Last Dance, but that's nothing to do with Bring It On, but that's the same thing.
That's also very good. Have you ever seen Centre Stage? Centre Stage 2 is the best.
Is that your neighbour?
No, he's a delivery guy, I think. Oh wait, no. That is my neighbour. He's the guy that crashed into Pete's car. We are sitting in the danger zone right now. We're in Danielle's car, by the way. We're just kind of looking around and chatting. Yeah, Centre Stage 2, Turn It Up.
Okay.
Centre Stage 2, Turn It Up is one of the best dance movies out of all of those dance movies.
I think Save the Last Dance has got to be one of my favourite dance movies.
I do love Save the Last Dance.
Fight to the Finish.
Fight to the Finish. That's the one with when the white girl goes. Right,
but there's All or Nothing as well.
Okay.
Do you know how many Bring It On movies there are?
Like 5. Is there 5? I think that's a spoof. The Cheer
6.
or Die. That looks like a spoof, that one.
Let's look at it.
She's looking up the Bring It On movies.
There's 7.
What's everybody else's favourite Bring It On movie? And if you've not seen any of them, go back and watch them because you're missing out.
I think it might be a kind of spoof, that one, Cheer or Die.
It looks like it because in the picture the girl has blood on her head.
Mm-hmm.
Unless she nearly dies.
But yeah, Bring It On Again is my favourite.
Mm-hmm.
Bring It On and then Bring It On Again.
Okay. Right, so moving on. We'd gone for lunch, I think, at this point, and then that's why you
That's
come
why I'm
back
wearing a
with
woolly
your
hat.
That's why you came back
Went
with
out
your
into
hat.
the cold.
Yeah, although I don't think it was even that cold.
It's always cold for me.
sweating. Well, this was where we went to Baines again, and they had nothing that I liked at all. Like, not a thing. So I ended up getting a pizza slice out of a convenience store or something like that. Eh?
Yeah. Sorry, I just need to open a window a little bit because we're baking in my car.
Yeah, it's like really nice. This is our summer. I bet we don't get any more nice weather after this 2 weeks, by the way.
I know, we're only in April.
Yeah, you might hear some background noise now that we've opened the windows, just so you know.
I'll close them a bit, we just need to...
Was that your phone?
No, that was my...
Oh, I ask you that every time.
Yeah. What are they called? Dash cam. It was a dash cam turning off.
I muted my phone before it started because just as I was about to press record, the phone went off and I was like, oh, I'll just mute it now. And then I thought, but are people going to be disappointed when they don't hear my phone? Because I know there's at least 2 people in the comments that always comment saying, no, I didn't hear your phone, or I love it when your phone goes off. So sorry guys, I'll just go beep. There you go.
I
can't remember what my phone sounds like when it beeps.
Neither can I.
I'm totally slacking in that group chat. I can't even remember what book it is we're supposed to be reading this month. So, how are you getting on with your book? Am I boring you?
No, I'm just very tired. I'm about halfway through it now.
Cool.
I'll maybe do that tonight, read the rest of it.
Oh, that's what I was saying. So on the Friday I watched the movie and did face masks. Well, I didn't because I was really burnt from camping, but I didn't like the feel of sheet masks either. Have you ever had a sheet mask on your face?
Yeah.
I helped Lily and Kai put them on and I do not like the texture.
I can't
it's so
use
weird.
sheet masks or face masks. My face just
yeah,
breaks.
I mean that might happen to mine, but I just don't like the feel of it.
It's like I get an allergic reaction. It goes all hot.
Have
and
you ever
red
tried
and
the I think it's like Avicii Dead Sea mud mask? That'd be good for your skin. It's so nice. But I tried to get it on Amazon and they no longer sell it. There's other deep sea mud masks, or Dead Sea mud masks.
I tried a vitamin C mud mask, and that still made my skin react.
Yeah.
It was really, my facial skin is very sensitive.
I know. I've seen it when it goes from like white to really, really red. It's mental.
Yeah.
I've tried years ago there was this trend and it was like this cloud mask. So you put it on and it started expanding. Yeah. And you know, it was the weirdest sensation. See when the bubbles started like popping and stuff. Oh, I did not like it. It was so weird. Yeah, and then Saturday night, so that was Friday, and then Saturday night I won at the bingo without you.
Well done.
Yeah.
Was it big or small?
Well, there was 3 of us and we won £120 between
That's
us.
right.
Yeah.
And
And
for bingo.
yeah, it paid for bingo and it paid for our dinner and drinks that we'd went previously. And then I got in pretty late actually. So yeah, it's been a few days. I feel like I've not stopped since Tuesday. Also, I tried to make a camping video for my channel. It's not gone well.
No.
Yeah. It's going to be up at about the same time as this one, I think, but it's not the best video. It's not my forte, vlogging. I need to get better at it. So
we need to take loads of photos and videos when we're on holiday. There's
yeah.
like overload in
I'm
photos
just
and
so
videos.
bad. I just always rely on other people to take the photos because I'm just in the moment.
Yeah, like I
I
like
just
being
never,
in the moment
yeah.
too.
So I never really take photos and videos. And my kids kept yelling at me the entire time we were camping, record this, and I was like, I don't even have my phone on me. I can't even see the screen. Like
camping's difficult as well though, because camping is about just going like into nature and getting off your screens and leaving your phone and being present in the moment and enjoying like what nature's got for you. So I feel like vlogging while you camp defeats the purpose of going away and camping for a couple of days.
Yeah, maybe I should get like an actual camera and then it's not a case of being on my phone. Oh, do you know what I'd like to do actually? A Polaroid's still a thing. Like the instant cameras. Actually, I tried to get some of them for my wedding. They were expensive. It was like £10 for one. I was like, you used to get these from the pound shop. What's going on? So I didn't end up doing that. But maybe I'll just give the kids all one of those kind of cameras and be like, go and photograph stuff you think's cool.
Yeah, I got Cameron a disposable camera. Do you know how like in primary 7 at the end of the primary school they go away like for a week to I got one for Cameron and I've still not got it developed.
Oh yeah.
Where did I'm wondering if it like in the chemist? Like where do you get that stuff developed?
I think the Photoshop down the town maybe.
Right, okay, yeah.
But do you know what I just realised, right? Remember when we first started doing our voiceovers together and Mac basically gave us in trouble because we'd interrupt each other because we knew what we were talking about and we'd agree.
Yeah.
So you said, oh, do you know how they go away for a week in the end of primary 7? And then I was like, yeah, but for the benefit of the people watching, why don't you tell them about that?
So our kids go away at the end of the primary school, they go away for a week.
So they're about 11 years old.
Yeah, it's kind of just like, I don't know, must be like to celebrate the ending of primary school. I don't know. They go away for a week and they usually go to like 1 or 2. There's a few different places they can go to, and it's like adventure stuff. So they do like abseiling and archery and like
river gorge
walking and like lots of stuff like that. They don't get to take their phones with them, which I think is absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
But that's why I had to buy them a disposable camera. That's what our kids do to like commemorate, is that the right word?
Yeah, I think so.
Commemorate the end of their primary school era before they go into high school.
Yeah, my son Arthur did not do that because he's scared of heights and a lot of the activities are up high. And he's just not really outdoor. He would have just hated every second of it. So what we actually did instead was for his birthday this year, because it was around about the same time as that trip would have been. Not this year, on the year that he was supposed to go, we ended up booking a lodge. No, actually it was an apartment, but it was an apartment with a hot tub, and we booked that for a couple of nights on the borders, like the Scottish borders. And we went there, but we left the younger children with their nana, and we just went with Madison and Arthur. And then the 4 of us just spent the whole weekend playing board games and in the hot tub and just spending time together. And we went on like walks with Sander and walked along like to get a pub lunch and stuff. And it was really nice. And I think that, and it costs the same because those trips are expensive.
Yeah.
And it cost about the same amount of money, and he really enjoyed it.
I think it was like almost £300 or something.
Yeah. So that's about how much it cost for the 2 nights on the Scottish borders with an apartment with a hot tub. But yeah, so he really enjoyed that instead, and so he didn't feel like he was missing out on anything. I mean, if he'd wanted to go, I would have paid for it, but it would have been such a waste of money because he would have been miserable and not done any of the activities. So I'm really scared of heights, right? But it's not the height itself, it's the fear of falling. Like, I'm not afraid of the height. I can get up there. I just can't get down again.
But that's one of the fears you're born with.
Yeah.
Fear of loud noises and fear of falling. So,
but mine is like so bad that I literally don't even like being picked up. Like literally physically picked up and not even like a foot off the ground. I hate it. Like I actually hate it so much.
I quite enjoy that feeling.
Like I get vertigo at the top of staircases.
I really want to go and do a bungee jump in Pitlochry.
If you do that, you should get sponsored.
Well,
raise money for the channel. Actually,
I was going to just do it at like Friday. I think I phoned Blair and I was like, "You want to come for a bungee jump?" And she's like, "No."
You just fell down the stairs last week. You should not be bungee jumping. Let your body heal.
Oh, that'd be so fun.
I don't think you'd be seeing
like
that
adrenaline. I wouldn't feel it at the time. That adrenaline would take over. Like I feel like I'm thrill seeking in my life right now.
Yeah.
Don't know if it's impulsive decisions or what.
Because you're about to hit 30, you're panicking.
Is that what it is?
I have no idea.
It probably is.
30's not even old.
I'm probably like, oh no, my 20s are gone. Let's go bungee jumping. Let's do some stuff.
Do you know, you've just reminded me. I'd just seen an article, and I don't know if it's quite recent or if it was like, I feel like it was maybe in 2017. But there was a guy who, he was very famous for doing like jumping out of airplanes and stuff.
Alright.
And there was just, he'd done like 600, I mean, I'm making these figures up, but he'd done a lot, right? No eating food while we're doing voiceovers.
I'm starving.
And he forgot on his very last jump, because he died, because he'd forgotten his parachute.
What? How could you what?
Well, because he was a cameraman, so he was carrying camera equipment, and he was so exhausted from doing so many of them that he actually forgot his parachute and he jumped, and obviously he died. But because he was recording, you got to hear like, "Oh God, no!" Like that was his last words. That was what I seen on Facebook.
That is intense.
I know.
That's a lot.
I would be scared. What if you jump and your parachute fails? Yeah. I think there's like 2 backups or something like that.
Like, well, not skydiving's a bit like.
I feel like I could skydive if somebody pushed me. I would not be able to jump. But they're not allowed to push you, so I would never do it. But yeah, a helicopter.
You have to skydive with someone as well. I think I'd be all right with that. Oh, sorry, somebody's turning their car on beside me.
Yeah. While we've just been chatting, by the way, I have been doing the living room, and I was just doing bit by bit, and picking up all the rubbish, picking up anything that wasn't rubbish.
Favourite part.
What?
Going back into the living room when you were done and seeing the difference.
Oh yeah.
That was my favourite part.
Yeah, because after this, Danielle goes in and cleans.
Oh.
Do you know what my favourite thing about this house was? I didn't have to wear a mask or a bodysuit.
Alright, yeah.
Because it was just a normal, albeit messy house. So we didn't need as much PPE. And there was no smell at all. Surprisingly, because of how much Indian boxes were lying around. But yeah, there was no smell. One of the things
there was no bad smell. I got to smell the curry in the pots, like when I was emptying them out. But it smelled nice. I was very hungry at that point.
One of the things that she said to us in person rather than on messages was she feels like she's not been able to make the house a home. And now that we've helped clear it,
I thought it was quite nice and homely. It just needs a wee bit.
I feel like maybe she just needs like a couple of lamps and maybe a rug or 2 in here and some cushions. I don't know. Make it a bit more homely. I am sweating here. It's so hot. Isn't it? Yeah. We need to hurry up and get the office sorted. So we can go and sit in it.
Can we pause it and like blast some air conditioning and come back?
Okay, because we're only halfway through. Yeah. Right, we'll be back in a minute, guys, but for you it'll not be a minute. Right, bye. Okay, that's us back, and we did cool down, but the second we turned the aircon off, it's worse. It's so much worse. Also, no idea what we're talking about, what we've talked about, or what we're going to talk about.
So thanks for listening.
Yeah, that should just be the theme of our channel, eh?
We don't know.
When we eventually have merch, that could totally be the catchphrase. I've already forgotten what I said though.
That's a catchphrase right there. I forgot what I said.
So I didn't sort out the actual cubes on this Kalax unit because, first of all, I've not even done my own. I'm not doing anyone else's. No, it's actually because she said that she's going to get to it. But what I did do was go through all this stuff in the corner. I didn't realise... Oh, that's what I needed to tell you guys. First of all, I didn't realise the camera wasn't fully facing me when I was doing this. So the other thing about this house is that we actually bought a new tripod for in this house, and it's 20 inches taller than the one we have, because we always get comments about, we're just recording the bottom half of our bodies. It's not intentional, it's just our tripods are like not that tall. So I bought a taller tripod, and I couldn't figure out how to attach my phone to it in a way that I could position the phone properly. So I couldn't see what I was recording. I was winging it.
Going in blind.
Yeah, and I ended up cutting off a lot of like the bottom of what I was doing. Like, I couldn't tilt the phone and I couldn't see, so I didn't know that it wasn't catching. So when we do get to me doing the bedroom, I've put it on a like 10 times speed time lapse, because unfortunately you don't get to see like the correct angles of everything that I do. You still get to see the transformation, but you don't get to see the details, if that makes sense. So I just decided to put it on a very quick time lapse. So the bedroom clean's probably only 5 minutes tops, but I was in there for over an hour. So yeah, that was unfortunate, and we are going to return this tripod and find a different one. But
I was so exhausted by the end of the clean, I didn't even go upstairs and see the bedroom.
Oh, so you'll get to see it for the first time. So here's you coming in at the back of me, and cleaning everything. So it was funny because
everything was pretty clean as well, though. It just needed a wee wipe down.
Yeah, I thought that as well. Mm-hmm. And we got to do the floors in this one. We don't always get to the floors, so. Also, if anybody does have a flash mop, you can just attach microfiber cloths to it. You don't need to buy the actual flash pads. Just attach a microfiber cloth and spray while you're cleaning.
The flash pads are really wet and dry up really fast.
Mm-hmm.
So you get like a good few really soaking wet bits, and then it dries up really fast. I actually don't like them that much.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan, and they're so expensive for what you get. So
I used to get like floor wipes at Aldi's and just use them.
So I'm just not a huge fan of wipes in general. I feel like, I'm not the most environmentally conscious person, but I do feel like wipes is something we can definitely try and avoid when you can just wash cloths and stuff. So that's mostly why I do it. But yeah, I mean, I use the occasional wipe. I think in the last house that we did, I was using the dry wipes to get some of the gunk off. Stop it.
I enjoyed cleaning the radiator. It was very satisfying, even though you didn't really get to see it properly. But the radiator was satisfying.
Surely you must have been sweating by now. You
know me, I like heat.
Yeah.
Like right now in the car, you think it's probably too hot, and I'm quite enjoying this heat.
Oh no, I'm one of those people who complains about the cold and complains about the heat.
I should have been born in a hot country. 100%. Like, I would have thrived in Spain.
Oh, that's what I was going to say, though, is that not only did you fall down the stairs last week, then you got sunstroke when we were camping.
Yeah.
So you've just had a bit of a week.
Sure.
That's one of the reasons that this that's one of the reasons that this video is releasing late this weekend, guys. We didn't manage to meet up yesterday to do the voiceover. And one of those reasons was because Danielle ended up getting sunstroke. It just kind of set you back a wee bit.
Yeah.
So yeah, just giving everything a wee wipe down. It was really nice because you could tell like that she was just all about her kids.
You really could get that from everything she had in her house and the messages she was sending us, and it's all about what she could do to make her kids' life a bit better or her kids happier.
Yeah, like I think because even in those early messages, it was my daughter's at an age she wants to have sleepovers, and it
was more focused on
the
kids than what she wanted.
So we thought that was really sweet. But yeah, she definitely needs to do a big declutter. They have far too many clothes, which always seems to be the case in these houses. It's too many clothes and too much stuff.
And not anywhere to put it all.
Yeah. Our houses are definitely not built for storage in mind. Like, take your house, for example. You've got, two cupboards in a 3-bedroom house with no closets.
Well, one of the rooms has a closet.
Oh, yeah, so it does. Okay, so...
But then I've got 2 3-door wardrobes in my bedroom, and Cameron's got his wardrobe, and it's still not enough space.
That's one of the things I like about like American houses is they have all their rooms pretty much, well, from what I've seen on YouTube anyway, all the rooms have built-in wardrobes.
Yeah, and it's built for storage. Like there's like
Mm-hmm.
they're just built common sense. Although if we could build a house, I would definitely have a walk-in wardrobe in the whole room just for my clothes, so I could hang up everything I wanted to hang up. Nothing needed to be folded. There was a space for all my shoes.
Have you ever watched the home edit?
No.
You would really like it.
Yeah.
Like, you would love it. And one of the
I
very
don't know
first...
if I would love it because it makes me depressed watching these things. So I'm like, I just want that now.
But you could manifest it, watch it and be like, I'm going to have that one day. One of the first episodes that they did, they reorganised Reese Witherspoon's wardrobe.
Wow.
But it wasn't like a proper wardrobe. It was the wardrobe of all the props and costumes that
cool.
she got to keep. So there's like a whole section dedicated to Legally Blonde and stuff.
Yeah.
It's so cool. You would
I
love
want to go
it.
watch that now.
Yeah, it's on Netflix, or at least it used to be. I would double check.
Okay.
Somebody commented on one of our videos about Kim and Aggie, and I was like, oh yeah, Danielle's been at me to watch that, and
Yeah.
I've still not watched it. I'll get to it.
We are like the new modernised Kim and Aggie. We really are, except for we're not as mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like Kim and Aggie were pretty mean. But I feel like back then, like, they could be. Like, nowadays, if you were to watch that, you'd be like, that's not okay.
Yeah.
They're, like, mean to, like, the people as well.
The thing is, like, sometimes I might come across as mean, but I don't have a mean
But you
bone in my
never
body.
say, like, someone, you like, I can't even think about, like, I'd have to actually watch it to get up a phrase. But they'd be, like, mean or, like, very... It was almost like getting told off by your mum.
See, but that's condescending if it's not actually your mum, though.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like, the people that we're helping, you don't need to tell them off.
But
They
I also
already
don't
feel
know-
enough.
Like, I don't know if a lot of it was, like, scripted.
Yeah.
It seemed like, so the way that they were kind of, like, the people, they were a wee bit awkward and stuff, and it seemed like it was probably a lot of it was scripted.
Probably. That's the thing.
And then they had a whole team of people that went in and done what we do.
One day we'll have that.
Mm.
I was thinking that. Like, we should, like, just hire people to do this. Like, see, when we're making actual money,
Yeah.
hire people to come in and do it with us. And we could just do a house a day. We'd probably, there's so many people that need help.
I know.
So me and Danielle have actually been talking. We're going to have to change how we're accepting, like, like requests for help, because we're now at a point where we have too many requests for help. We physically will never get to them all. So when I was watching Flawless Cleaning Services with Ben, which is a gardening channel that does more than gardening, he in his last video he'd said something about nominations, and I was like, oh, so when people message in for help from him, it's not a case of they go on a wait list and he'll get to them eventually. It's more like it's a nomination, and then they either do get the clean or they don't. And I was thinking we're probably going to have to do that.
Yeah.
But everybody on our list so far will have to honour those cleans. That's the only thing. But it's so difficult.
And it's really hard when you've got people reaching out for help, when you know it's going to be months and months before you can get to them.
Mm-hmm.
And having to say that to people, it's really difficult. That really affects me, to be honest.
Yeah, I think that's the
I find
hardest
that really
part of our
hard.
job.
Yeah.
Is not being able to help everybody instantly.
And you've got people that are reaching out, and you know when they're reaching out, like, they need that help there and then, and it takes a lot for you to take that step to ask for help. It takes a lot for people to ask for help, and then when they get that pushback or that knockback that, oh, well, actually we can't help you, and it's not going to be next week, and it's not going to be next month.
Yeah. I always like, so one of the games that my kids play is the 3 wishes game, right? It's quite funny. So we'll be sitting around the dinner table or out for dinner or something, and we'll play this game. And the first person starts and they have to, like, make a wish. So let's say, for example, I wish that I could fly. Then the next person can either make a wish or they can make a wish that ruins your wish, right? And you go around the table and everybody gets, like, 3 wishes. And often most of us will end up ganging up on one person, right? So, like, if I wish that I could fly, then you could wish for something that would ruin that. So, for example, if you were Arthur, you would say, okay, but I wish you could only fly with your eyes closed.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So something like that. But I'm always playing this, and I'm like, oh, if I actually could like have a superpower or something like that, what would it be? And I've always thought I would really love to be able to like speak and understand all languages, because I thought that's a very handy thing, because I just get FOMO, like fear of missing out, when people are talking in another language. I'm like, what are they talking about? I want to be involved in this. I'm so nosy. But then also I'm like, okay, well, obviously I wish, like kidney disease isn't a thing, but also I would wish to have like a notebook or an oven where you just write on the paper what you want to eat and put it in the oven and it comes out fully cooked, kind of thing, like stuff like that.
That would be pretty good, yeah.
Yeah. But sorry, I was just going to say, wait, let me finish my wishes.
That's what I'm saying, go.
But
holding my thought.
I always thought, I would wish to have like a really, really high IQ, because then it doesn't matter what problem you have, you could solve it. Right. But in terms of these cleans, I would wish for super speed. We could help so many people if we had super speed.
Imagine we could do like 3 cleans in one day.
Yeah. Because the thing is, when people think of super speed, they just think you can run really fast, but really you would do everything fast. Yeah. It would be like the world was in slow motion. That's what I would wish for.
Right, okay, my thought. The languages, being able to understand all those. Have you seen those headphones that you can get?
No.
They translate up to like 84 different languages or something.
No.
Right, so you get headphones. They're just like earbuds. Earbuds.
I would totally wear them and walk into the Chinese.
It's like 20 quid or something. I'm going to buy you a pair.
Oh, yes. Buy us both a pair.
Yeah, I was thinking that.
Now I just need something to help me speak. I have no aptitude for languages at all. That would be hilarious though. Imagine you're like in a nail salon and they're all talking.
That's why I wanted to get them, because when I get my nails done in like the Chinese nail salon, or I think they're Chinese, and they start talking in their language, and I'm like, I don't understand, and I want to know. I always get really self-conscious. Like I'm like, are they saying something? Are they talking about my nails? Like, are they in a bad condition? Like, what's going on here? Yeah, so I've wanted to buy them for like to sit in the nail place and be like, haha, I am involved.
Have you seen the videos of that guy who speaks completely fluent Chinese?
Yes.
And he's like, and they always look so shocked when he starts like saying it all properly and everything. Oh, you're looking them up?
Yeah.
So cool.
Translator BT earbud supports 150 languages.
Would you have to know what language they're speaking to set it to the correct language, though? Because I wouldn't even be able to tell that. Just looking it up, guys. You learn something new every day. Like, I did not know this. Okay, so I'm in the bathroom now, and I'm just, like, obviously Danielle's going to do the cleaning. I'm just getting rid of the rubbish and then putting all the belongings into a bag. And then I spray everything down with the Domestos power cleaner. And then it's about 30 minutes later that Danielle comes in and cleans it. So, did I say Domestos Power Cleaner there?
I think so.
I meant the Domestos Power Foam. I'm going to email them. They need to sponsor us. I push their product all the time. It's such a good product. I'm going to email them. Remind me. Somebody remind me. Cue the comments. Everybody saying email Domestos. Yeah. Or tag them. I've seen people tagging people on YouTube. Can we tag Domestos? Is that a thing? Do you think they have a YouTube channel?
Yeah, they probably
will have it.
Yeah,
somebody
tag them.
Yeah, somebody tag them.
Tag, guys.
Tell them to sponsor us because we like their product so much.
Right, I don't think you have to set it to the language. But they're like £15. We should just buy a pair and find out.
Yeah. We'll test it out and then let you know how it goes.
Because it would just look like
a game changer.
It would just
that
look
would
like
be good if you're on holiday.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, when we go on holiday.
Oh, we're gonna do this. It's gonna be cool. Yeah. So I sprayed all this down, and then you went in and cleaned it. But by that point, you were done.
I wasn't feeling it. I really just was exhausted by that point.
We were running out of time anyway. Yeah. I think it is harder once we stop for lunch to get going. It goes two ways. Either we're completely revitalised and like we have a second wind, or it's just really difficult to get going.
Slumpish and sluggish.
I think for me, it tends to be more difficult to get going. But then once I'm in it and I get, like, once you start and you get some done, then I kind of get that groove and I'm like, okay, now I'm in it, I don't want to stop.
I think for me it's like a hit or miss. Sometimes I'm like, okay, I'm really enjoying this, I want to keep going, and other times it's just like, and there's nothing that's going to help to get me back into that or to keep me in that. Like, some days I go into this and I'm like, nope, I'm not feeling it. And I still do it.
I know. And I can usually tell just by looking at you. I'm like, you're not feeling this today.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
And then other days I'm like, yeah, let's go. I want to clean some stuff.
Mm-hmm. But do you know what I've seen? And I think I've mentioned this before because I see it all the time, right? But I seen this image once and it said, on the days that you only have 40% to give and you give 40%, you're actually giving 100%.
Yeah, because I'm giving everything that I've got.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just, that sticks with me and that lives rent free in my head and plays all the time.
I feel like mental health has a lot to play with, like, how I wake up and if I want to deal with, like, what I want to deal with on that day. Like, so some days I'll be like, yeah, this is great, and then other days I'm like, no, I don't want to see the world.
Yeah, she has no choice. She always has to come and see me.
Yeah.
And then on those days, she's like, Steph, what have you dragged me into? I hate you.
Sometimes I really question my life choices, and I question Steph's decisions on making me do this.
Yeah. The thing is, you only do it to look after me because you know for a fact if you weren't doing it, I'd do it myself.
I know, and then
who's going to save my life when I have an asthma attack?
I know.
So, yeah. But I mean, the actual what we do is a reward in itself.
I also do it for the viewers.
What about the people we clean for?
Well, yeah, that's a given. But could you imagine we were like, right, we're going to just stop this. There's going to be no more Fife free cleaning. You'll not get any videos. I think a lot of people would be really upset about that.
I hope so. I feel
Let
like we bring value. Yeah. Danielle needs a pick-me-up, guys. Tell her how much you love her.
Yeah.
Do you know that video, like the April Fool's video that we did, how right at the end you said leave a comment and tell me that I'm better than Mac?
Yeah.
One person out of about 500 commented saying you're better than Mac. One person followed instructions.
Because I'm really not.
The rest of you guys suck.
You know, Mac's the king daddy of
Do you know,
channels.
I thought our accents were absolutely terrible in that video.
So did I.
But we got quite a few comments saying our accents were pretty good. I was like,
Are they being sarcastic though?
Well, I thought so, but it's hard to read sarcasm, and I'm taking it as truth, okay?
Yeah, I think it's sarcasm. Because our accents were terrible.
I can't wait for his comeback. Like, I'm dreading it.
Do you think he's going to? Because I'm waiting, and I'm still waiting. I'm like, is it happening? Or?
It might be next, like, April Fool's, though.
So I might have to wait a year on a comeback.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I waited a year to do this. I seen his Ari Katerina April Fool's video, and I was like, when we started this, like, the second we started this, we became friends with Mac.
Already?
Well, as soon as we became friends with Mac, I was like, oh, we're going to need to do that. So, yeah, I waited a year to do it.
You released a new video. I've still not got around to watching it yet.
I've watched it, because I'm a true fan. Yeah. Have you watched any of my recent videos?
No. I've watched nobody's videos.
You suck.
Not even read my book. I've watched nobody's videos. My mental capacity for doing things out with.
Don't make me feel bad for saying you suck.
Scrolling on my phone has been very low this week or two.
Do you know why? Because I've not been sending you enough reels.
That 100%, that is what it is. Please send me more reels.
I will. I will send you hilarious reels.
I need a good laugh. That's what it is.
I feel like I'm going to get burnt sitting in this car, by the way.
But I don't have the membership spiel down. It's not my brain.
Right. Oh, you're going to laugh when you watch my latest video, by the way, because I tried to do a spiel for my own memberships and I literally cannot remember what any of the tiers were called, which is ironic because the last one was #Team Stephanie.
Oh.
And I was trying to do the spiel and then I was like, oh my God, Danielle's going to like think this is so funny. I still don't actually remember what I called them all. Anyway, our spiel. If you've made it this far in the video, I think we're coming up to the time lapse of the bedroom in a minute. And then that's kind of the last thing that gets done, and then it's all the before and after shots. But if you have made it this far, listening to our random ramblings and this house clean, then you are our true fans.
Yes, thank you for staying.
Yeah, thank you for staying, or for coming back if you're watching in parts. If you have liked the video, then please do like, comment and subscribe. It is 100% free to subscribe. It costs you nothing, but it lets YouTube know that you like our content. And if you do want to find our content easier, then click that bell notification, and then every time we post, you will get a notification. Do you see what I mean? Like, it cuts off the bottom, so you guys can't see everything I'm doing. I was so frustrated when I found that out because I was so proud of this room. Anyway, comment. Like, some people didn't realize how helpful it is that people comment. You literally just an emoji. Even if you have nothing to say but you've enjoyed the content, put an emoji on there, and
a full stop, like something.
Yeah, anything, an exclamation mark, a question mark. Although then I'd be thinking, what are they questioning? Yeah, but yeah, anything in the comments, and that helps YouTube know that you like this kind of content. And then we do have membership levels if you want to support us financially. We have 3 membership levels ranging from 99 pence to £2.99, and for that you occasionally get an extra video or live stream or priority replies to comments, that kind of thing. And then we also have an Amazon wish list, which I've added a few things to that. I think going forward, the most things we need are things for the residents, so bedding, and I'm going to add some other stuff to it. I think there are some things on the list that physically can't be bought for us. We got an email, I think. We got a message or an email that I need to reply to about some things not being able to be bought. But we have a wish list on Amazon that people can send stuff to us. And then we also have a Buy Me a Coffee donation link. Now, just to be clear for anybody that's new here or isn't aware of how things work, me and Danielle, we make no money from this. So eventually, obviously, we hope to make money from this. But any donations on the Buy Me a Coffee link, they go towards the business, you know, the free cleans, materials, the office, the insurance, that kind of thing. And people might think the office is unnecessary because we still are not working out of it. However, that is where we store everything, and you know, we literally would have nowhere to put it if we didn't have that. So it is a big part of what we do. So yeah, eventually we will get money for our time, but right now this is all voluntary, and your financial donations, whether that's a membership or the Buy Me a Coffee link or watching, and so that we get AdSense, all of that money goes back into what we do. You know, it covers the rubbish removal costs, it covers things that we buy, like that duvet that we bought last week and the mattress topper the week before,
and bins and
yeah, all of that kind of
brushes.
stuff. And there's things that we can't add to the list, like toilet brushes. Apparently you can't gift that to people. I wonder if that's because, you know, you could just send toilet brushes to people you don't like. That's the only reason I can think why you wouldn't be allowed to gift a toilet brush. Like, but anyway, that's the spiel. And I think we've got 4 minutes left in this video.
What was your favourite bit about the clean? Oh yeah, not wearing.
Yeah,
What was the
not
least
having to
favourite?
wear
Did you say
PPE.
least favourite? I don't think you said least
No,
favourite.
do you know this kind of I always
You
thought
enjoy these ones.
Yeah, I always thought my favourite kind of clean was the really extreme ones because of the transformation and the difference we're making. But do you know what? I think these actually might be my favourites. They're messy enough that you can make a big difference in a short amount of time. But then, because I like the tidying part, I don't actually like cleaning. I like cleaning really dirty things that come clean easily.
I like the cleaning part.
I'm lazy. That's my problem.
I don't like tidying. I don't like having to find a place for everything. Like,
I think I'm good at tidying because...
I like tidying my own house because I know where everything goes.
Yeah. But I feel like in your own house, if things don't have a home...
You find a home.
Well, that's what I struggle with. Yeah.
I mean, I do.
I'm good at tidying because that's all I really do in my house most of the time is surface cleaning and tidying. I never really get to the deeper stuff, usually because I'm exhausted afterwards. I don't know where I get the energy to do these cleans, although I always suffer afterwards.
You don't
like,
think it's
say for a
easier
day
to
or
do
two.
it for someone else, though?
100%. Mentally, it's so much easier. But I mean, like, the physical energy. Like, I couldn't clean for 4 hours straight in my own house. Like, I physically
What's it
can't
going to be
do
like
it.
when we go and do, like, 3 cleans a week?
Hard.
It's going to be, like,
It's
every
gonna be
day
hard.
in between, you're going to be like, no, not doing
But-
anything else. We're going to have to get you a cleaner.
Yeah. I need to get a
So if
cleaner
you're cleaning
for
for
my
all
house.
these houses,
No,
you're
because
not
I
going to
have
have
no.
any energy to
No,
clean
no,
for
no.
those.
I
okay.
have my channel. I need to clean my house for my channel.
So you're just never going to not be cleaning.
But that's the life of a mum, is it not? Are we not always cleaning, all of us?
Yeah.
That's just life. That's the worst part of being an adult, is thinking about what to have for dinner every single day and having to make it. And just cleaning a kitchen that you know is going to get messy 5 seconds later.
Do you know what I think the worst part is? Having to make the dinner, but once you've made it, you're not hungry after it. Does that ever happen to you?
Yeah.
All the time I make something, I'm like, yeah, I want this, and then I've made it, and I'm like, no, don't.
I gave up making dinner about a year ago. My husband just makes dinner 90% of the time.
So I just need a husband then.
Yeah. Or just come to my house for dinner. Anyway, that's us at the end of this clean. I hope you've enjoyed our random ramblings. We did think about going live to tell you half of that stuff, and then we just haven't had the time. So I'm going to stop now because somebody's playing music and we don't want to get copyrighted. But enjoy these photos, and we will see you in the next one. Bye!